All right, I got to check something first. Corresponding with someone who did something great. Oh boy. Theo. You're all right in my book. Let's see if anybody's around. Let me switch this to live chat. Yep, it's a Wednesday afternoon. Hey, Richard, how are you doing? Yeah, we sometimes do the 2 o'clock lives. Sometimes we don't. But today, I've been answering a lot of comments. Wow. And if I haven't got to yours yet from the last couple videos, I will get to it. I have I lost count at 110 just from yesterday. I was caught up for today. And the problem with YouTube, or at least I don't know how to do it. Maybe I need to talk to our fellow vloggers, is that when you go to answer comments, you can't do oldest first. At least I haven't found a way to do that. So I got to ask some people. I should ask Chat GPT, because that would be so much better to go oldest first, instead of, they have two options: newest and what's the other one? More, I don't know, like a top comment or something. The AI figures out it's a top comment, or newest. Those are your only two options. So I haven't been able to figure it out yet. But yeah, I the one video had 3,000 comments. Now every time I comment, that it makes one. So let's just say there's 1,000 to 1,500 comments. I haven't even touched the iceberg. I mean, not even close to getting through those. It's crazy. And I appreciate everybody that put those comments out. But my point is, if I haven't responded to your comment yet, it's not because I'm avoiding you. It's because it's just so many of them, which is good. But I am one of the channels that tries to answer every single one, or at least gives it a heart or a like, so that you know that I read it. And that's what I've always done on this channel, and I will always continue to do, no matter how many comments come in. Hey, Midwest old man, 280 zone, how are you doing? And Sherry, how are you? Retired and loving it. You're sitting in the line, right? Waiting on those grandkids. Hey, Jacqueline, caught you at the beautiful weather in Tennessee. I saw your comment about your ace on the ACA video I did. That was kind of interesting. You had to go through that at the hospital. That's not good. But I'm glad you're at the gym, and I'm glad you're working out and keeping that body tight, right? Dave from Indianapolis, how are you? San Antonio, Jerry Gonzalez, San Antonio, Texas. My aunt's in Houston. That's about all I know about Texas. Slim, going to rain here in Southern California. You're going to get some rain. What do you think about that? Is that okay? I mean, that's normal, right? Every once in a while you get a little rain. Sitting in the pickup line again. Yep. Do you guys like fight in the line? Like, do you have to be there early? Is it like I don't know, sometimes I read that they get a little bit crazy around here. I don't know if it's crazy by you. Hey, the tubes rock. Tim in Woodstock, Illinois. Boy, I almost, do you have a channel? Do you have one of those channels where you wear the bowler hat? There's a guy that's got a similar name, I think. 76. Yeah, in Arizona, that's not bad. 76. Boy, better than your 115. Susie Martin in Aurora, Indiana. Hey, are you guys seeing any of the Northern Lights? I've got the app, and it keeps saying that they're going to come around, and I never see them. Yeah, nursing is rough for sure. But I wonder if any of you guys are seeing the northern lights. They said in Indiana they were seeing them. Minneapolis Airport. What you doing at the airport? Z Dufferman, what you doing at the airport? You working there? My niece works for a airline. She's behind the desk there and takes care of the people, and it's been fun lately for her. Hey, Donna Simple Retirement. How are you? Maybe rain for 5 days. Oh, okay. I got you. Yes, we have to get here an hour before school lets out. I was going to say, it gets probably kind of rough over there. Did you get snow? We just got that snow on Thursday or Monday. I'm sorry. Sunday night, Monday, a half inch and it little bit. But right now I can't see any on the ground. There's probably some on my deck a little bit, but anything that was warm before and held the heat melted everything. So we're good for another week at least. We saw the Northern Lights last night. Oh, cool. It's UOT. How are you? Yeah, I did. I only got to see them sort of once. And I'm waiting for that night when it's supposed to be really, really good. And I did learn, I was kind of disappointed that you can only see it through your phone. It's hard to see with the naked eye, which I thought was kind of surprising. I never knew that. But hey, if I can get them on my phone, I'm good with that. Facebook friends in Fort Wayne, some. Yeah, I know we were cloudy last night, but I have this one app that said I had a 1% chance of seeing it. And so and the cloud cover was like 75%. So I was like, well, I doubt it's going to be a good night. So I didn't even bother to go outside, dress up and go outside and look. Ontario, the snow is unacceptable. Well, you're in Ontario, get used to it, right? It's nothing that you're not familiar with. Oh, vacation is ending, heading back to Seattle. I got you. So you got a little bit of a trip. I was at Minneapolis Airport once. Not bad, not a bad place over there. We saw the Northern Lights here on our farm 2 hours last evening. Wish I could figure out a way to attach pictures. Yeah, I don't know if you can do that. You can email me, buzzretirementgarage@gmail.com. You can always email me your pictures. I've had a couple people do that in the past. And I maybe even could print them out for Saturday's show. You just gotta, oh, Randy, how you doing? You got a dusting of snow. Really? I thought you would get more because that storm kind of came. Well, maybe it just missed you guys and kind of came towards Ohio. I had that little, what am I doing? Crescent. That's what I'm doing. What the hell is he doing? Hey, Kaz, how are you? Wildwood, Florida. We had frost on the ground, 33. Yeah, I was watching a video, started watching a video from Howard at Otter's Retirement Corner. And he's in Tampa. And I think he started saying something about how cold it was. And he said he thought he moved as farther south as he could, as far south as he could. But yeah, I guess he woke up pretty chilly too. So yeah, 33 degrees in Wildwood. That's not good. But hopefully it'll just be obviously just temporary. North Dakota, we get a good show fairly often. Yeah, it's still better looking at it through the phone, right? But yeah, I'd like to see a really good. There was one night when the app said, "Oh, it's perfect, and I mean, I spent hours outside, and I saw a little bit of a faint hue, but nothing that made me go, "Wow." Yeah, favorite kind of snow melted. 2 to 3 inches in South. Okay, you got it worse than we did. Unless ours just melted quick. You saw him too, Shelby guy, huh? Cool. We got 2 inches of snow. Okay. Yeah, I was lucky. We were lucky, I should say. We had a lot of wind and stuff, but walking the dogs, it was kind of funny on Monday because like one of the dogs, as soon as he got out, he was chomping at the snowflakes that were coming down. They weren't coming down hard, but he was chomping at them, and they were eating the snow. And And of course, the Siberian Husky I took out didn't even care. It was like, yeah, just another day, which I thought was kind of strange. Old Fart, how are you doing? The best snow is in a picture watching from Florida. I hear you. Sunny Wisconsin, 49. What do we got? We got 47 and mostly cloudy. Yeah, it's pretty cloudy here, but I'll take it. You know, and then I saw the weather, local weather. They said the average high was 53 or something like that. And I'm thinking this far into November, well, we're not that far. What's today, 11th? This far into November, and it's supposed to be 53 degrees. I didn't know that. I for some reason, I just think November starts the 30-degree temperatures, but I guess I'm wrong. Northern Michigan. I prefer snow to hurricanes. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no hurricanes in Arizona. You might have those, what do they call those, dust devils? That's about all you got there. What about the cactuses? Cacti. No, tumbleweeds. Tumbleweeds that blow across. You ever get hit by one of those 280 zone? I wonder if you have to go out in the country to see the northern lights. I was thinking of driving to Lake Erie. It's 20 minutes away, 18 minutes away. Without traffic, if you get traffic lights, it's 20 minutes. But that would, to me, would probably be the best spot to go. And we did that once. I dragged my wife out 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. And we sat there for like an hour, the wife and one of our kids, I think. And here they come, here they come. There was nothing. It was kind of like the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, where Linus is sitting out in the pumpkin patch waiting for the Great Pumpkin. Nothing happened. So you can imagine anytime I say, hey, you want to go see the Northern Lights? She just gives me the stink eye and turns around, walks away from me. You've been getting snow, retirement underrated. Oh, yeah? Haboobs. Yeah, tumbleweeds, cactus, snakes, scorpions. Yeah, other than that, you're good. Yeah, haboobs. That's the one where it's like what they would call the wind with the sand in it, right? How they came up with that name, I have no idea, but whatever. Weatherman says we may see 60. Right. That's the same with us. So we're supposed to see like 58, 60. I'm thinking 55, 54 because they're always wrong, but they're close, but not always accurate. City lights totally hide the northern lights. Got to get out in the country. Right, just get out where there's not a lot of light. But a lot of people. I think it was this summer. There was a big northern lights thing going on, and a lot of people were taking pictures. And they were in the suburbs. They weren't out, in the country. So it can be seen depending on the strength. Hey, made it for the live. January on Monday, November today, and summer by Saturday. What a week. Yeah, no, that's just the way it is. But I don't mind. It's not bad. I've got my, I'll tell you what, if you don't have these, you need to get a pair. Some of you women, let's see if I can do this without falling down. See the fleece? Don't mind my brown socks. They're warm. Fleece lined jeans. They're just like having the on your bed where the fleece sheets. What are they? They're not fleece. They're what are they called? Yeah, I'll think of it. Usually get those on about December 1st. We put those on. I'm great for seeing the northern lights at the farm. Yeah, I could imagine. You turn off your yard light. Wow. I like to come out to your place with my telescope. That'd be great. Flannel. Thank you, Donna. Flannel. Yeah, I get fleece and flannel. They both start with F, and it confuses me, I guess. But flannel sheets and these fleece pants, those are the ways to go in Cleveland. That's how we do it. You looked at last night at 10:30, too much light. Oh, that's weird. Is that a new Buzz sweatshirt? No, actually, it's an old one. Back when the radio station was really popular in our town. So it was a scam, actually. They were saying goodbye because they did some kind of promotion where they said their station was going to end. Somebody was buying them and they were gone. So they did this big thing of, oh, goodbye, see ya. And then, of course, it was all scam. So it was just for ratings because they're in the 70s, they were really big. The radio station, WMMS, was really big in the 70s. And then it's just been worse ever since because it got too corporate. It got too, you knew what you were going to hear all the time. And it's went bad. So I think they were doing it for a couple reasons. But yeah, so it's an old sweatshirt. I just never wear it. I have it sitting in the closet and I just never wear it. And I thought, let me put this on today. "56 and rain in Seattle. Typical weather." Yeah, it seems so. I always hear you guys, um, in the mid 50s or so, and with cloudy, and you can see when the fronts are coming off the ocean, hitting you guys up there. 35, 37, East Coast of Massachusetts. That's, anything, I've said this before, anything over 35 or 32 degrees, I'm good. Maybe it's a mindset, but anything under 32, that's supposedly 32 Fahrenheit is the freezing mark. Anything under that, maybe it's just in my head, but I feel colder. Anything over 32, it's nice out, Yes, flannel. Yep. Thank you. Hey, Resting Witch Face. She's got a channel out there. Resting Witch Face has a channel. If you guys get a chance, check her out. There's quite a few videos that she's got out there that are pretty interesting. She's got a story to tell. So if you ever get a chance, check out her channel. Yeah, it looks like a buzz. That's the logo. So David Helton, back in the late 60s, early 70s, was the artist that created that, basically on the back of a napkin. And he's still around too. It's from way back then. He lives in Tennessee, I believe. And he comes up to Cleveland every once in a while for nostalgia shows. But yeah, he was the original artist. So I have a lot of his T-shirts from different variations from the beginning, basically to the end, if you want to call it that. "44 and 17-mile-an-hour winds here in northern Michigan." Yeah, we had a little bit of wind, but it's not too bad today, so we're fortunate. "You're cooling down in Southern California, going to be in the 60s this week." Sweater weather, yeah. Hey, Mark, how are you doing? Yeah, like I said, anything over 32, I'm fine. So we're at 47. It's like a heat wave. I'm good. I could actually take the jacket off, but since I'm sitting, and I probably would if I wasn't sitting, if I was moving around and doing stuff, I'd have the jacket off. But just sitting here and the blood's gelling, a little bit of a breeze coming in, I'll keep the jacket on. "Spent close to a year at NMU in Marquette and have driven straight north on 75 through Michigan many times." Man, I'm sweating over here in Kansas City. 66 degrees. Must be nice. Been outside doing yard work. Came in for a lunch. Yeah, 66. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I'm going to try to rake up. They come and suck up our leaves like every 2 to 3 weeks. So I have to just rake up. This is supposed to be our week, but it's already Wednesday and I haven't seen them yet. But I'm going to rake up the rest of the front leaves and just get them in the pile. Just stretch it along our front of our yard, and then they come with this big giant vacuum and suck them all up. So the stuff I have in the backyard, I usually hit it with the mower and mulch it. And I have some big oak trees. And I've got a little bit of I don't call it woods. It's got some trees in it, but it's not really a woods. And I'll just rake it up and put it in there, the stuff from the backyard. I just swoosh it into there, and by spring it's gone. I don't know where it goes. Probably into the neighbor's yard. Let them clean it. 70 in the shade on the front porch. Boy, that's nice. I've lived in Mitten State my entire life and have never been in the UP. Hey, Dana, overhauling my son's room. Can't stay but saying hi. Yeah, thank you, Dana. Dana's got a channel too. She features a lot of stuff on her garden and her plants and her flowers. If you ever get a chance, if you haven't seen her before, Dana's Garden Retreat, check her out. Roofers just finished. Left the yard and put my wall. Keith, you could tell me later, or you don't have to tell me. But what'd that run you? I just tell me square foot, how much per square foot. Maybe we could just do that, and then people can figure out on their own how much it would cost them based on the square foot. I grew up in Frankenmuth. You know, that's one place, Barbie, we wanted to go. But I keep hearing, you know, the Christmas store and stuff, but I just keep hearing it's so expensive. Like everything's really high. Because we have a Christmas store like that, similar, I guess, in Amish country. And man, every ornament, everything was there was just so expensive. I just, you know, hard to believe. My husband just cleared up about 100 pounds of those green Osage orange things. Yeah, monkey balls. It was, you got, what do you do with them? You just throw them in the garbage, or what do you do with them? When does the snow fall and stay for you? That's a good question. Probably, for sure, January. Probably, I would say mid-December. We might, but we've had green Christmases where there's nothing on the ground. Many years we've had that. So I would say for sure, just to be safe and be accurate in my what I'm about to say, January. Probably like the first week of January, it starts to get pretty bad. 10,774, Keith, that's a steal. What are you talking about? Even if you have a smaller house, 10,000 is good. 1,500, man, that's not bad at all. That's really not bad at all. You sent in your hand turkey. I did see a package coming. I think there's a package coming Friday to the post office. So it's possible that that's it. I don't know how you sent it, but yeah, we'll get those up. I'll go to the post office on Friday and we'll get those up on Saturday. Yeah, because we got someplace to go Friday night. So yeah, I'll get to the post office fairly early and hopefully it's there. Yeah, so anybody that doesn't know, for the art back here, we got Cartoon Mark's picture of me that he did in the summer when I was replacing my water heater. And then we have one of Captain Billy's up here. And then we have, which way, Kaz. Yeah, this is hard to do, actually. Hers is up here. So we're going to put remember when you were a kid and you used to do the, you know, for the tails of the turkeys, you would do the little drawing using your little hand, and that would be the tail. Well, we're going to be kids again because that's what retirement's all about, being a kid again. It really is. It really is. It's about being a kid again. It's about doing what you want, when you want, how you want, without the restrictions that you had when you were a kid. So it's actually even better. As a sparrow flies around my head, that was pretty interesting. I don't know if you heard him. His fluttering of his wings, but that was interesting. He didn't run into anything either, so that's good. Farmington, Michigan. We moved to Indiana in 72. Oh, you're in Alabama. So I don't know. It still should be more than 10,000, but okay. We have a very large compost pile. Okay, yeah, you put the monkey brains in there. Yeah, I was gonna say, you should do that because throwing them in the garbage, let the animals eat some of them. Wish we were all close to each other. We could exchange goods. I have a trundle bed and 2 twin mattresses to get rid of. They broke the bunk beds. Bunk bed bombing. We had bunk beds too, Dana, when we were young. As a matter of fact, it was 3 brothers in one room. So I had the top bunk. My brother had the bottom bunk, and then there was a little. You're calling it a trundle, maybe? I don't know. It pulls out. It rolls out from under the second bed. So my youngest brother slept on that. I mean, convenient, but what are you going to do when you're in a 2-bedroom mobile home, right? $776 per square foot asphalt shingles. Okay. I don't remember my square footage, 280 zone. Per square, I should say. I don't remember what it was. I should go pull that out and look at it just so I have a reference. But, mine was 7 years ago now. So prices have changed considerably. I mean, I know for a fact that roofing, asphalt shingles has gone up a lot. I'm hoping they reduce that price because it's made out of mostly oil, right? Oil is a big factor, and if they can get that oil prices down, and maybe they'll give us a break on shingles going forward, but I doubt it. Yeah, it would be nice if we were close, though. Quite a few Michigan connections here. Yeah, that's trying to drive in the fact that I won't say anything about Ohio State versus Michigan, but I don't want to be outnumbered here. Want to send a turkey picture? I mean, seriously, bring out your old box of Crayola 64 crayons. Of course, we never got the big pack. What was the biggest? 128? We always seem to get the 32s. I think my parents only bought us the 32s, and half of those got broken and like within a week. So yeah, boys are rough on crayons, that's for sure. I don't know how girls are, but I could answer that myself. I think my wife has an old box of her Crayolas from school, so they probably take a lot better care of them than we did. That's for sure. It's old Roscoe, so it's an omen, huh? Yeah, I hope it's a good one, boy. I hope it's a good one. 718. Well, that's good. You're 718 a square foot. That's good. But that's what. So the trundle is the one that pulls out. I got you. Roofers count by squares. I just use square feet. Yeah. Yeah, when we did ours, I just told them, or I asked them, I said, and I really loved this roofer because I had like 5 quotes. Again, this is 6-7 years ago, but I had 5 quotes. And this guy, he hand nails, him and his team, they hand nail. He's got college kids. They don't, no radio, no, just, as I say, good boys. And not good old boys, but good boys. And he got me up on the roof, and I've told this story before probably, but he's looking at my chimney and he says, now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to buy this, and he writes it down, and he says, you're going to buy this from Home Depot, and you're going to mortar this area of the brick, and you're going to put a stainless steel chimney cap on. This crack in here, you're going to put a little silicone around here. He gives me the list, and he tells me what to buy, and he goes, and I need this done before I put my roof up here. And I'm like, your roof? But that's the pride he took in the, he didn't want me screwing up his roof. And man, as soon as I heard that, it's like, you got the job. And yes, he was a little more expensive, but they hand nailed everything. And his explanation was, if you use an air nailer or staples, which is even worse, but if you use an air nailer, and yeah, it's fine. A lot of houses have it, but it's set to X amount of PSI. Well, if you're going through, the sheathing, a plywood sheathing, 4x8, it's going to hit and go through. But when you hit that rafter, that cross beam, not only do you have the sheathing, the 4x8 plywood or whatever, you've also got to compensate for that rafter. And he says a lot of times when you have popped nails, it's because it didn't go far enough into that rafter and it starts to wiggle its way back out. He says you can see a lot of houses that are like that. So when you hand nail, you're making sure that when you hit that raptor, that you're driving that nail as far down as it can go. So that made sense to me too. And I know a lot of guys won't do that. A lot of companies won't do that because it's time consuming. So I opted to pay a little bit more and got the dimensional shingles. And I figured, hey, that makes sense to me. And, they have the warranty and all that. Owens Corning warranty because he's authorized for that. So that's how we kind of looked at everything. Yeah, we could have got it cheaper, but didn't want to do that. Birds are spirit messengers and sparrows are about community. Well, that just fits exactly what we're doing here. You count by the weight of your wallet. That's about right, too. I already had a Michigan Ohio State conversation at the airport. Well, I won't ask you who you were rooting for, but I colored my hand turkey with colored pencils. All right, that's we used those when we were young too, right? I think I remember colored pencils, crayons and colored pencils. I think we used the colored pencils when we were older, though, right? Oh, metal roof. Yeah, man, a metal roof is cost a bundle. Man, I was going to look in. My neighbor across the street looked into that, and he told me. He said he didn't tell me the price, but he just said it was just out of their reach. They couldn't afford it, but he really wanted. And then when they saw that cost, yeah, you're paying more up front for hopefully longevity, but he just couldn't do it. Joe Wiseman, how are you? You need to figure out a get together. There's several of us here from Ohio and Michigan. Yep, we're gonna have to maybe hit the border somewhere. Maybe what's good in Toledo? Maybe Toledo should be in the midpoint, huh? So you got the asphalt shingles, northeast. You would drive over to picnic in Olmsted Falls next spring. Yeah, we could do that. You guys can all come down here, but I would be willing to meet you halfway. Who's the cartoon character? That is the WMMS Buzzard. We were just talking about, how about this side? We were just talking about that. It's an old shirt. Probably this is 1980s, vintage 80s shirt. I rarely wear it, especially when I'm out working or something, because I get stuff on it or I'm eating. If I don't have a bib on, I'll get oils and stuff on there from my salad or spaghetti sauce or something. So I rarely wear it. Just thought I would put it on today because I rarely wear it. But he's WMMS, big in the 70s we were talking about. And the artist, David Helton, still around. He basically drew the first character in the early 1970s on the back of a napkin, basically. And then that grew into their famous, because WMMS was one of the leading radio stations, being in Cleveland, that broke a lot of bands. I mean, they broke them in. They said, listen to this. They didn't care if they got ratings or not, because a lot of stations would only play top hits. Well, they broke into bands and had bands come in, and we had the Agora downtown. So this is where a lot of bands got their start, was through MMS playing their records, their 45s at the time, believe it or not. You could look it up, check out ChatGPT and look up WMMS Cleveland and see how they were in the history of rock and roll. You can watch while you purge the room. Okay. Yeah, they would not allow a metal roof. Why? Yeah, I know, Barbie. I know you had to say it. Even down in Florida, you still have to say it. We saw a commercial T-Mobile for 35 for 5-year guarantee. That's what I got, JNP. That's what I got. But they don't, like I said, they're not charging me taxes. I told this story before, but long story short, I got the $35 deal through Mint Mobile, who is owned by T-Mobile. And I've had that for 4 or 5 months now. And it's working out good for me. Oh, you're from Texas. Okay. Toledo is close for me. Hey, maybe Toledo should be the place. We have somebody from Toledo on here. Maybe not right now, but maybe we could go to his house. Metal roof popular in Tennessee, but once it fades, your home looks. See, that's the problem. I would be concerned about is the way because there's so many different types of metal roofs, and yeah, to your point, if with the sun beating down constantly, would they fade? Now you hear some people say, "Oh, they don't fade," fade resistant. Well, resistant means it's going to fade. And then what do you do? Do you paint a metal roof? I mean, I don't know. Go blue, Bama fan here. Nah, man, Ohio State. Ohio State's going to they're just going to wrap everything up in 2 years in a row. Isn't Toledo the reason Michigan got the UP? I don't know. Hey, Punk Basin covers 6 hours straight of meetings, 20 minutes until the next marathon. And people wonder why I watch videos about retirement. What can you guys talk about for 6 hours? Even a gum flapper like me, I don't think I could go 6 hours, and just sit and listen for 6 hours. That's just nuts. Hopefully that's like 20 meetings. I hope it's not just one big one because that's just crazy. WS adopted the buzzard as mascot in 74 when the city of Cleveland came close to defaulting. Yeah, that's probably right. Back when Dennis Kucinich was running it and was running the city at that time, and it almost went into default. I think it was because he was getting, I don't remember now, but I think he was getting pressure to close down Muni Light, which was the Cleveland light system from the big boys illuminating company. They were trying to push him out and stuff, and he was standing his ground. And I don't remember all the deal with it, but he actually might have been a visionary, believe it or not. You guys might want to read up on him, Dennis Kucinich, but I think he's still around. Is he a senator somewhere? Or he's still something, I think, or trying to be something. I think he was actually running for mayor of Cleveland again. How many years later? But I think he's given up on that. Oh, they all fade? Okay. Yeah, I just I don't think that would be good to have a metal roof if it faded. Now, if we're talking it's noticeable fade after 30 years or something like that, then okay. I mean, you get 30 years out of it and it fades, and maybe you can. I mean, there's metal paints out there. You could probably paint it. So I don't really think that's a big deal. The paint would certainly be a lot cheaper than re-roofing. So maybe is it still a good idea? I'm just like I said, the initial cost is so much that I just didn't think it was a good deal. You remember Kucinich, but you were still in high school and couldn't have cared. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I remember going past his house once. So we were driving around. I don't remember who was driving, and he pulled down this one street and he said, "There's where Dennis Kucinich lives." And I'm like, "Who?" He's the mayor of Cleveland. He had a police car sitting out front. They were, giving him protection and stuff. And I just like, okay, okay. Yeah. So back then I didn't know or care either. Obviously, when you're a kid, or young, most people are not into the politics and stuff like that. Most people. Yeah, missing meetings. Yeah, I just every day I get up, I'm thinking to myself, we had a 9 o'clock production meeting every day, 5 days a week, and I tell you what, not having to do that and waking up or whatever or whatever and seeing looking at a clock and seeing 9 o'clock and knowing that all these people are sitting there in their production meeting going back and forth. Though sometimes they would go 45 minutes, usually 30 minutes, sometimes less, but 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Yeah, man, I'm just glad I'm not sitting in there anymore, just listening to all that. And so glad. Yeah, you like the look of the metal roofs? They are nice. I mean, different ones, but they're sort of one color. That's, the ones I've seen. You either got the red or you got the green or maybe like a rust colored brown. There's a big church on I-70 off I-77 when I would drive to Akron, and I mean it's huge, pretty huge church, and it had a roof, metal roof. I think like a brown, not a brown, but a darker brown, rusty color. It looked pretty good. And it was a huge church. I mean, that thing must have cost a bundle. I mean, but it'll probably last for a long, 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 long time. So for them, I guess it makes sense. Okay, we'll see you later. I got to get corn syrup. Oh. My sister-in-law got a metal roof in Wyoming. No fade, still looks new, zero maintenance. Yeah, that's what I mean. If it's they may fade, but maybe it takes longer. And again, it depends on your supplier, because from what I understand, there's a lot of different suppliers that make those metal roofs. I might be wrong, and maybe some are better than others. I'm not sure, but I just watched roofing videos when they were doing the metal roofs, and it seemed like they were in different forms and different, so I would think different manufacturers. So maybe all right, see you, Kat. Oh, you're staying, but yeah, she's going, he's going, she's going, they're all going. It was such a relief when we got our roof replaced. Yeah, same here. When we put the addition on, we subcontracted everything in 1996. We did the subcontracting. So we interviewed the electrician, we interviewed the plumber, we did all that. We didn't have a general contractor. We were the general contractor. And I did the insulation, the rock wall. The electricians came in, being new work, what they call new work. It was fairly reasonable. Same with the plumbing. They were very reasonable. And the roofer I got, that was our worst mistake. He was terrible. And I got up on that roof and I could see the shingles were not even lined up right. And I, all right, you can't see it. So, all right. Well, then we started seeing leaks later. And I don't know. It just wasn't good. And when I tried to get a hold of them, they were long gone. It was supposed to be a resident near me. And then he moved and went out of state. And so, yeah, I didn't want to make that mistake twice. So that's why I would pay a little bit extra to get somebody that really knew what they were doing. And like I said, the guy that I talked to and I eventually went with, he was, I mean, super. They did stuff that I didn't even ask for. They said, oh, we're going to do this. And we put this on there. This is after the price was already fixed price. He didn't charge me. I think he charged me for one piece of plywood, and I know they put in at least three. I know it for a fact. And he charged me for one. So, I mean, it was, and he put gutters on too. And I tell you what, he was just top notch. He was called Benedict Roofing out of Columbia Station here in Ohio. He just was absolutely top notch. I think it's beautiful when state capitals have those domes covered in gold. Yeah, Notre Dame. I got to see. I got to go to Notre Dame Stadium, and you could see the Golden Dome sitting there where we were sitting in nosebleed. You're working and getting paid to watch you. Midwest old man, you got the world by the short hairs. How about that? You have a black metal roof in New York. Looks amazing. Couldn't be happier. Doesn't heat the house like you'd think. Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. The only drawback, and I'm not trying to scare anybody at all, because my facts came from my daughter, who in the very beginning as a firefighter had told me this about metal roofs, is that they don't breathe. You know how the firefighters have to go up and they have to cut holes in the roof to allow heat and stuff to escape up through? Well, metal roofs make it a little bit harder, because some of them you can cut with an axe, but they get a little bit tougher to try to get that initial hole out. And of course, I don't know. She was saying that the fire department is not keen on metal roofs, but I can't give you any more than that right now. I'll have to ask her. We see her at Thanksgiving. Maybe before I'll ask her more in depth about that and see. Now she's been there a couple years. I'll ask her, has she seen any? Has there been problems? And of course, they're slippery for firemen and women. You get up there and it's a lot different than an asphalt roof too. So that can also, maybe that's why she was saying that can cause a hindrance as well. Yeah, black metal roof might catch your house on fire in Arizona. All right, Donna, thank you. How close are you to Parma? Parma. Room, 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 boom, 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 boom. We are, I would say 15. I used to work in Parma. So it was off of, there's City of Brook Park, and then there's Parma. I worked at MTD on West 130th, which technically was Parma. And it took me 18 minutes to get to work. So I would say 18 to 20 minutes away from Parma. Overtime pay, man, you got it going good. JNP, how are the dogs? Good. I posted a couple of videos, shorts. I always post shorts on Monday if I can. That's my day. I go to take care of the dogs, and I love the snow. I'll tell you. There's one I filmed him. He's a big dog, Hank. I filmed him, but I didn't put it on the YouTube. And he went out, and the first thing he did was chomp at snowflakes. I mean, he was so happy to see the snow. But the husky, I was telling you, the husky I took out didn't care that she saw snow. It was like, I don't care. It's like another day. Okay. But the other dogs were eating the snow, and like it was kind of a because that was the first time that they had seen snow since they were in the kennel. Now, the 7 a.m. people did take them out, but they just take them out real short and then back in because they feed them, and they're only there an hour. We're there 2 hours, so we get to do the long walks with them. And, yeah, they really liked it. It's your nap time. All right, take your nap. Interesting about the fire. I'm in northern New York with tons of snow. Oh, yeah, yes, JM, I believe you 100%. That would be nice that because sometimes, as you know, up there, we get, you get 15, 20, 25 inches stacked up on a roof, and that's not good for the roof. And you've read stories like I have, I'm sure, that roof collapses because, the snow, and then it builds up with ice. Because you might have like a rainy, icy thing, and then that weighs down, and it could get nasty. I've taken snow off of my roof more than once over the course that we've been here because it just worried me. Now, whether I was a worrywart or not, I don't know. But I would get the ladder, and I would go up and get a long, like scrapey thing with a big handle and just try to pull it down as best I could. Maybe I was just being overly cautious. I don't know. Do adoptions go up at this time of year? Puppies seemed like they go fast all the time. It seems like. And at this shelter, the turnover rate seems pretty good. I mean, I can't compare it to others. My daughter volunteers at City Dogs, which is mostly pit bulls, and they have a harder time getting the pitties out. And they are our shelter is a no-kill shelter, so no dog will ever be euthanized unless they're sick or something crazy. But where City Dogs, they have to euthanize them because there's just so many, and that's sad. But I mean, that's just kind of the way it goes. But yeah, the shelter here, they get turned around a lot. Now, do they get more adoptions now? I don't think so. I can't really tell because it seems like a steady amount, which is good. But like I said, the more puppies we get, we've had like 15 puppies at a time, and then like in a week they're all gone. So, and I think a lot of people do like to get the puppies. I have a F-250 to pay for. That's right. You got to get that paid off before you retire. That's right. Yeah, and those things aren't cheap. Those big F-250s are not cheap. That's for sure. At 280 zone, I did what I said I was going to do. I didn't see Brian on here. So Brian, yeah, no, I haven't seen him on here. But 280 zone, if you're still around, I sent you an email on it, so I took care of that thing. So I appreciate all the help that you give us. 280 zone is a great moderator for us. Oh, you got the email? Okay. Super good moderator, helps me out a lot. Last thing you did before you retired was pay off your car. Yeah, I mean, that for retirement for me, because you guys, most of you know, I've got a not much in savings, and so my Social Security checks are important to me, and we try to live below the amount that comes in from those checks. And I could not have done that unless we paid off the house and the car and any debt that we had, which we were able to do. And that was probably the biggest thing. Well, we talked about it on my last video on the ACA. So everything kind of went right. I cashed out a CD that had a low interest rate at the time. And even though my house was less than 3%, the loan was 3%, I had $25,000 left on the loan. Now, here it is, March of 2023. I know that at work, the program that sustains us, 40% of our sales, was going to end in March. So I'm already freaking out. But because of COVID and everything else, they extended it out to September, when they were going to basically close out the Tacoma frame and build a new one. And we weren't going to get any of the parts because they were building most of it in Mexico. So I looked at it and I'm like, okay, what do we have to do? So we cashed out a CD and took 25,000 of that and paid off the house. Now, if it was 50 or 75,000, no, we probably would not have done that, because as I said, 3% was the rate that we were paying on the home loan. But at that time, way back then, it was hard to find things at 4 or 5%. I mean, it started coming around, but it wasn't there yet. So that I could see. So we went ahead and paid that off. Basically, I had 2 payments left on my Mazda, which was $500. So we paid off $1,000 there. Had no credit card debt. And then I, in like March, April, paid off the house, started looking at, okay, Social Security is going to be X amount. My wife was already taken at 62. She's 2 years older. So I'm looking at it and going, okay, here's X amount of Social Security money coming in. So March, April, May, June, I start doing my tracking. And I said, hey, we're spending less than what we think Social Security will be. And we had a 2 or 3, 4 month trend line. And I thought, okay, things are paid off. The trend line looks good. I can still get another job if I retire in September. If things just don't work out, I could still get another job. It won't pay as much because I won't be looking for something with stress and craziness. But hey, if I get $20 an hour, $25 an hour somewhere, okay, I'm happy. I make 50 grand a year. I'm happy. That's good. That's good. And collect my Social Security. But then, you can't make, you can only make so much of Social Security before Social Security starts taking money back. Or, so I'm like, oh, now what do we do? So luckily we got to the YouTube, and that helps out a little bit, and it's worked out for us pretty good. So. Yeah, the truck had an MSRP of $88,000. I tell you what, I think any truck now is getting pretty expensive. Hey, Lynn, how are you doing? You were smart to retire debt. Well, that's the only way I could do it. That's the only way I could do it, JNP. I couldn't do it, as you know, following me for as long as you have. There's no other way I could have done it. And still I get the fingers pointed at me that, you should have kept, you should have got another job. You should, and yes, shoulda, coulda. But you know what? Getting out of there, I am the happiest. I'm telling you, you can't imagine. If you're still working and somebody watches this and replay or something, if you're still working, there's nothing like retirement. There is nothing like it. And I would give my left elbow. I would do it all over again. Right now, I can say that. I would do it all over again without hesitation. Not one bit of hesitation. Money's money, but time is something you can ever, never get back. So I'm happy. You just paid off your house 7.5 years, saved over 80,000 in interest. Good. Oh, that's great. We'll start retirement with no debt. Still, yeah, you're going to be nervous. But run the numbers. Just keep running the numbers. It's simple math. It really is. Now, saying that, there's always something that comes up to ruin your plans. But the math is simple. How much money you got coming in to pay your bills and eat, right? Versus, or how much is coming in versus how much is going out. It's a very simple formula. Now, it does get complicated by if you have kids or grandkids, if you have home expenditures, like I replaced my water heater, my electrical panel. I mean, there are going to be things that you should account for. But I'm telling you, if you got the in and the out is even, or your income, your Social Security, your pensions, whatever you have coming, I don't know what it is. If you could try to stay even with that and take not that much from the bank, except for emergencies, I think it's doable. I really do. But again, I'm not a financial expert, so don't listen to Buzz, whatever you do. Once you reach full retirement age, there's no, yeah, that's right, Lynn. That's right. I know, right. So I'm waiting. But then again, I talked about maybe going to work in January because my YouTube income it's a long story. It's a tax nightmare. It's just sad. And I don't want to say anything here in case there's IRS people lurking, but no, we're doing everything on the up and up, but it's just the way things are structured. It's just really weird. And after this year, next year, I won't have to worry about that. So I'm thinking about maybe in January, just getting out of the house and kind of doing some part-time work. But me and Mrs. Buzz also said that we would do the eBay thing and we would do the decluttering while we're doing the eBay. They go hand in hand, actually. And that might keep us busy enough that I don't go back to work. But if somebody needed a hand somewhere, retail or whatever, I wouldn't mind doing that for a couple of months. But I would tell them straight up front, it's part-time, it's short term, and chances are they won't hire me anyway. So they don't like people telling them how they're going to do it. So, but yeah, I see there's want ads for this one company all the time, which is right up my alley, and it's right near me. I could ride a bike to it pretty much. And I'm thinking, maybe I'll pop in there and just see what kind of vibe I get from them. I don't know. We'll see. I'm always calculating our retirement. I'm just not as stressed about it now. That's right. You got the math in your head and you kind of know where you're at. So, and then you just kind of adjust before you retire, or you adjust, or after you retire, you stick to your program. You develop a program and you stick to it. Now, there's a lot of times, I tell Mrs. Buzz, or she tells me, do we really need that? I might want to get something, and do we really need that? And I really sit there and I think about it and I go, no, I can do without it. And so we just don't get it. We don't buy that or whatever it is. Now, the electrical panel, I could have went a lot cheaper than I did. I paid $5,000 for the bathroom upgrade, for the electrical, for the outside pole, for 2 extra additional lines and a new box. Could I have just done the bathroom and be done with it? Yes. I could have maybe spent $1,000, but I went ahead and said, hey, this is a one-time thing. $5,000. $5,000 is not bad in the scheme of things, to be a one and done. I mean, that's fine. A water heater, what are you going to do? That cost me $2,000. Yeah, you can get them cheaper. You can get a Home Depot one that'll last you three years. You can go through all that monkey motion, but you know what? Pay the professional, get the best you can get, and not have to worry about it for 10, 15 years. That's kind of the way I look at it. Exactly why I ignored the phone when they tried to call me in today. You can support Buzz Channel. Oh, well, thank you, 280 Zone. Yeah, I put the as the thumbnail to this live. I put the hat. We just got beanie hats put on the website or store, and I put that on there just so you guys can see that they're available. And the only comment I got on it, because I did a post, and they're too expensive. It's like, yeah, well, I can tell you this. This company, Laser Focus Products, they don't give you cheap stuff either. They give you good stuff. They've been doing this, and they've shopped for good products that, hey, sometimes they're going to cost a little bit more, but they're good products. And you've seen the stuff. You guys all know. I mean, these cups, I just love these cups. They're heavyweight. They're just nice cups. They're not super top of the line, but they're not those cheap. I don't know. You can get those real cheap ones that are so thin. This is a little bit thicker, and it's a nice. And that's how they do their hats. That's how they do their sweatshirts. They've saddled up with different companies that offer decent products. So yes, they get a cut, I get a cut, and you're paying for a better product, I think. So yeah, the price can be up and out of some people's reach. So I understand that completely. Money in, money out. That's right. Had the day off yesterday. Leaning towards retiring. Just need to make the money work first. My HO. I'm just not a fan of HOAs. I've never experienced one. I've never been in a community where there's an HOA fee. Um, so I'm not the one to talk to about that. But I tell you what, paying that kind of money is, to me, I don't know what you get for it. Maybe you get a lot for it, but $720 a year, yeah, maybe. $720 a month, no, no way, not for Buzz anyway. Not the best time for jobs. Oh man, I tell you what, PJ Ower, the want ads on Indeed.com. I look once a week. Well, I get a feed that comes to me. There are all kinds of jobs in this area. Now, maybe not every state and every community has that same thing going on, but I tell you what, we got a lot of jobs. I don't know what their pay is, but I should say I don't know all of them what their pay is. But this one company I'm looking at, they have first shift, second shift, and third shift. So they're desperate. When you start looking for all three shifts, you're desperate. And their third shift was paying over $20 an hour, and it's just for assembly work. Now, I don't want to work full time. That's why I'm saying, can I walk in there and just say, I want to pick my hours and pick the days? And, that's where they're going to be kind of like, no, we need you to work full time. And you either get part time or you get nothing. And some companies will put their foot down and say, well, that's too bad. You're going to get nothing. But the other side of that is, hey, you don't have to pay my medical. If you were, even on part time, you're not going to do my medical. And like I said, some jobs, they wouldn't give you a medical anyway. But I'm on Medicare, so you don't have to worry about that. So, there's some pluses to seniors working. Yeah, that's right, Scott. That's right. The best thing is part-time job and retirement is no stress, and you can walk away at any time. Right. Finding a part-time job just for fun. Right? That's why I started volunteering with the dogs, just for fun, to get me out. And it does two things. It lets me get out, see the dogs, because I'm in between dogs right now. Get me to see the dogs every Monday, and I get exercise. It's like a mile. I can take a full mile trail. So if I walk 4 dogs, that's 4 miles. 3 to 4 miles, somewhere in there. And that's good exercise for me. And there's a hill. Actually, I'll do a video one of these days, because I was thinking there's this like hill. You've probably seen it in some of the, there's a hill right there. And I was thinking, oh man, when it was covered with snow, I got to bring a sled, one of them little plastic discs, and I'm going to ride down there, let somebody film me, because it's a perfect sled riding hill, let me tell you. I haven't done any sled riding in years. Hopefully I don't break my legs or an arm or something. They're priced just like everybody else. Yeah, I don't know. Get what you pay for. Good service isn't cheap. Cheap service isn't good. That's right. I like the hat you're wearing. Is that style available? Yeah, that's that one. Bus's Retirement Garage. This one's definitely available at the store. We built a new home in the area. Had an HOA after 6 years. It was voted out. Oh, that's good. Then you forget when they dissolve and all the renters move in. Yeah, I mean, you guys might know of some positives, some advantages of HOAs. Like I said, I wasn't experienced with them, and I don't, so I really shouldn't comment on them. I just would only comment on the $720 a month. That's something I probably could not afford. Almost all the funds went to lawn care. $750. Yeah, that's what I said, Steve. Like, if you could do $750 a year, that's doable. You know, that's doable. You know, you do $100 a month or $75 a month. That's doable. That's not bad, especially if you're getting something for that seems to make sense. But $750 a month is that's out of reach. Hey, Mark's Weather, how you doing? You can see the floor, Dana, huh? Thanks for the chat. So I work my son now. This room's starting to look better than mine. How come you don't have the boys do it? I don't understand. Don't you crack the whip good enough that they're scared of you? You're not one of them belting parents, or you take the belt like this and then snap it. You don't do that? I got that when I was young. That's how we got taken care of, 3 boys. Oh yeah, we got our butts whooped. I'm doing very well. Just got back from lunch. Get ready for class tonight. Good for you. Good for you. $1,200 a year and still wasn't worth it. I got sick of yelling. That's why I said, Dana, you got to get the leather out. Or are you one of them parents that doesn't believe in that? Which, okay, all right, that's fine. That's fine. Corporal punishment. Well, wait a minute. Yeah, that's probably something you can't do because of something I know about you. Your husband, you probably can't do it. That's probably true. It's hitting too close to home, so to speak. All right. Well, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, we've been at an hour already. I just can't believe how fast the time goes. What does it say? Yeah, an hour and 7 minutes already. So we're going to get out of here. And again, I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully, you get a chance, stop by Saturday night at 7 p.m. That's when we do this. Wednesdays are kind of hit and miss, depending on what I got going on and what you got going on. Saturdays are for sure we'll be here, God willing. So hopefully we'll get to see you this coming Saturday, and we'll do this all over again. But again, thanks for being here. Take care. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the rest of your week, and stay out of jail. That's words of advice. Take care.